This tutorial is going to be an intro to graphics. Before we begin, make sure you have Java and the Java JDK downloaded on your computer. You can run java-version in your terminal to check. Also make sure that you have IntelliJ downloaded on your computer. It is suggested that you watch the previous Java tutorials in this same playlist. So a quick objects intro. An object is an entity that contains data and behavior. Data are the variables inside the object, and behavior are the methods called on the object. Graphical objects. There are three of them we'll need to keep in mind. There's a drawing panel, which is a window on the screen. Graphics, which is a pen to draw shapes and lines on a window. And color, which the color in which to draw the shapes. A drawing panel object. The canvas is the canvas object that represents windows and drawings on the surface. So a note, will need to be downloaded from the internet and put in the same folder as the program you're using it with. An example of using a drawing panel is drawing panel name equals new drawing panel. And let me go ahead and show you how to get that download. It'll be drawing panel download. And I'm just going to use this first one. It's linking. And I'm going to save as drawing panel.java. And now I'm just going to go into IntelliJ and do new package graphics. And now I'm going to right click and say new Java class, and I'm going to call it drawing panel. And now I'm going to open up drawing panel in Sublime, which is my preferred text editor. And now I'm just going to, Command A, Command copy, and copy it into here. Uh-oh. I did view twice, that's not what I wanted. Okay. And I kept at the very top, come on. As we go to the top, I kept package graphics here at the top because that's the folder that I'm inside of. So I don't need that anymore. I'm going to go ahead and close it. And then there's the graphics object, which is the pen or paintbrush that's used to draw lines and shapes on the screen. So when you create a graphics object, you do graphics g equals panel.getGraphics, and then to use it, you do g.fillRect or g.filloval. And so this is the x, y, width, height of where you're going to put the rectangle, and this is x, y, length, width of where you would put an oval. And there's two different versions. There's fill and draw. Draw will give you the outline of a shape, and fill will give you the whole shape with it completely colored in on the screen. You will need to import for graphics. So this is just like with Scanner or the file object, you have to put an import at the top of the screen for it. So the coordinate system in graphics is from the top left of the object. So you're in the fourth quadrant. So 0, 0 is here at the top left, and x increases as you go to the right, and y increases as you go down. So here's a visual representation of that. So this is a rectangle from 0, 0 to 200, 100. And it's not to scale. So here are the graphics methods. There's g.drawLine, which will give you a line between those 2 points that you put in, the x1, y1, x2, y2. DrawOval, which will draw an oval of width and height at positions x and y. DrawRect, which will give you an outline of a rectangle that's width and height at position XY, where X and Y is the top left corner. Draw string will give you a text with the bottom left at XY. Fill oval will give you an oval with X and Y at the top left. That's width and height. Fill rect, same thing, a filled rectangle from X and Y with width and height. And then set color will set graphics to paint any of the following shapes in the given color. So that's the final object, is the color object. And it's specified using predefined color constraints. So it would be color.constantName. Or you can create your own color using RGB values from 0 to 255. So you could create color name equals new color RGB. And you can get those RGB values from online somewhere. So for instance, if you wanted to do a burnt orange object, you would just have to look up the RGB values for burnt orange and put those in, and it would create the burnt orange color for you. So some examples of that would be color brown is 192, 128, 64, and burnt orange is 191, 87, 0. And then over here is just the list of all the color constants you can use. Black, blue, cyan, dark gray, gray, green, light gray, magenta, orange, pink, red, white, and yellow. So those are all just predefined colors that you could use for your color object. Using colors. You pass a color to the graphics object's set color method, and then subsequent shapes will be drawn in that new color. So here, in this example, we have set color black. So now this rectangle and this line will both be black. And then set color red will make this oval be red whenever it's drawn. You can also pass a color to the drawing panel set background method, and the overall window background color will change. So we have color brown equals new color, and then we can set the background of the panel to that new color. So it'll change the whole background of our drawing. Shapes on top of shapes. When you have two or more shapes that occupy the same pixels, the last one that gets drawn wins. So if I draw a rectangle and then I draw an oval right on top of it, I'll see a circle on top of a rectangle. So now we have to play with graphics. So let me split the screen here. There's nothing special that I want us to do with this. I just want to show you what graphics looks like. So new Java class, I'm going to call this graphics. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have called it graphics, darn it. Let me get this back. I'm going to call this, I'm going to refactor, rename graphics examples. You know what? I'm just going to delete this and start over. Refactor, save, delete. Oh man. I just want you to delete. Delete. Man, I really messed this up. I should not have called this graphics. Delete. Did not want to save. Okay. So new Java class graphics examples. Scoot this over. So public, just like always, public static void main string guards. Okay. So I'm going to say drawing panel equals new drawing panel. And I'm going to have graphics graphics equals panel.get graphics. I guess this is graphics 2D. I must have downloaded a version of the drawing panel where it has graphics 2D in it instead of just the vanilla graphics. That's fine. Now I can do graphics.draw rect with 0, 0, 100, 100. And for the drawing panel, I'm going to make it 1,000 by 1,000. And that's pixels, so it's going to be 1,000 pixels wide by 1,000 pixels tall. And I've just drawn a 100 by 100 rectangle from the top left corner, so I should have a rectangle that fills up 10% of my screen. So I'm going to do run, and it's thinking, and it's going to pop up with a new window, and that new window, oh, you know what? I ran file stats, not graphics. Let's see. Run, graphic examples. That's the one I want to run. So here is my screen. I have a 1,000 square, wow, I should not have done 1,000. That's way too big. But I have a 1,000 by 1,000 drawing panel with a 100 by 100 square in the top corner. And I could do things like draw, I could have done fill rect, and then graphics dot set color, wow, graphics dot set color, color dot red. And then if I do draw rect, now I'll have a black rectangle, and I'm going to make this 500, 500. Now I'll have a black square with a red outline around it. So let me kill that old, and every time you run this graphics or this graphics examples class, it'll give you a new instance of that drawing panel window. So you either want to X out of the drawing panel window every time, or hit the this red square, which will close it out for you. So let's run that one more time. And see, I have a black rectangle with this red outline here. Okay, so that's just a simple intro to all of this graphic stuff. And your practice for later is just to keep playing with the graphics. Maybe draw a simple house, a cat, you know, maybe a cloud, any of that stuff. You could do loops if you wanted to loop over things, create methods for drawing different parts. So if you wanted to draw a bird over and over again, you would just create a method to draw a bird based on a specific area of the screen, and then you could like stamp that bird all over the place, whatever you want to do. And that's it. I hope that was helpful.